Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Let's Design Cities Skylines. My name is Rick Doster and this is, this is not the last recorded episode. This episode is actually being recorded today, the day before it's supposed to come out. So today's a Wednesday, May 18th, in case you were wondering. But in any case, we're back here in full swing, back from my trip. And I've been doing a little bit of work off camera. Let me just show you real quick because I'm actually quite excited about all the things that took place in between the last episode and this one. And let me begin by focusing your attention over in this corner. We used to have basically a block of nothing here and some like really crowded buildings, both residential and commercial and offices. So I decided to get rid of all that and created some sort of gated community. So it does have some of these thinner streets. There are two-way streets, all of them. And basically we only have a few houses per block, actually 2 houses per block. And then on the other side, we just have a parking lot and the train tracks just going through this whole neighborhood. And I decided to keep the edges somewhat green, and what I mean green is just grass, not just fill it with trees and whatnot. So I think this type of neighborhood actually looks really nice, and I might want to replicate this design in other places too. So stay tuned for that if you like it. Let me know in the comments what you really think about this. But I couldn't be more excited. I also created this tiny little park here, put down 2 plazas, and then surrounded with colorful flowers and details like this gate here that sure it doesn't really prevent anyone from coming into here, but sometimes you find this in different places, and I thought it looked nice, so I kept it there. Now, going back to the neighborhood we created in the previous episode, as you can see, I hate this, but I like it more when you see it from this distance, but yeah, I really hate the clipping texture here, but I can live with it. Don't worry about it. I added some trees into these big courtyards that they have in between them, and I think they look great. I didn't want to fill everything with trees. I did kind of fill it with trees here, but I wanted to keep some open areas here just so that has a little bit more air. You never want to like overfill everything with trees. It just doesn't look great. And the same over here. We have the parking lots, and there's still quite a few details that need to be added here. I need to like fix all these empty areas with maybe concrete. I think that will look better. But everything else has trees. These buildings I haven't touched all that much. And over here I replicated the same design. We have this big courtyards with some trees, some random trees. And over here I just decided to go with a line of the tall conifers that we have throughout the map. Kind of our signature tree. I keep saying that, but it's true. Now, over here, I integrated this clinic and police station a little bit better with trees again, basically. And now we're really close to like completing this whole section. And let's see, I tweaked the commercial area here a little bit. I added some parking lots and removed some of the buildings that were here and replaced them with different ones. I added we were having some issues with the dead people not being picked up because we have one humongous cemetery over here. But I decided to just plop down another one of these crematoriums in this neighborhood just so that it would help with the situation. I don't know if it's temporary or not. I think it's good to have a few of these throughout the map so that we don't focus solely on or rely solely on having, hearses driving from here to the different parts of the city. So we might have to add more cemeteries like this one. I downloaded some assets too that I want to try in order to make it more realistic, but we'll get to that later. And these things haven't changed all that much. We have the same commercial, this big box retailers over here. We have the McDonald's and etc. This I think this was a supermarket. I also played around with the park in between these buildings. I think this looks fantastic. I added some really simple bushes actually, and the planters with the tall trees, and a little playground here with some picnic tables. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit closer so you can take a look. But I mean, nothing crazy. It's just the simpler it gets, the better it looks in general. I think that's kind of a rule of thumb that I try to go by, and it never stops working. I really like it. In fact, another park that I tweaked. Let me see. Did I do anything over here? Oh yeah, I added this sort of the same treatment to this park in between these two buildings. Same over here and all the way over there. Actually, here in between the train station and these buildings, I added a little bit more lush, like really thick forest, but it still looks quite fantastic. Let's see, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the other park that I tweaked was this one. I don't know if I show this. I think 2 episodes ago I started with the first frame when I started the episode was this park, but I didn't show you this other park, which was completely non-beautified, non-bushified, if you will. So I added the same pattern, and I think it looks pretty great. Another thing that I did was replace. We used to have like a museum here, and I got rid of it, and I put down this building, which is a courthouse, which I don't know if it came out in an update or I downloaded it by accident, but it looks great, and it totally fits the theme that we have going on here with the gubernatorial neighborhood. So thumbs up there. And finally, I also tweaked this Buen Aire Park. I try to center the obelisk a little bit better. It's off center with this road. I think we can fix that. It's definitely fixable, but I didn't have a whole lot of time to do it. So at least now it's aligned properly based on the main avenue, which I know was bugging a ton of people, and I was getting a ton of comments on fixing that. But now it definitely looks better, and the frame rate is also much better. You used to have a ton of these blue, white, and yellow flowers just all over, and it was not great. Now we have this like tiny little symbols, and they still have the colors that I wanted, but now we have this semi-smaller bushes. You can still see them from up above. I think they look better. Just a really nice pattern. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I'm really quite happy with how this turned out. And let's see, because I did more things. Oh, one of the major things I did was fixing the freaking ship lines. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw a screenshot that I posted 2-3 days ago that I just had a conga line of ships going throughout here. What was happening is I used to have a cargo harbor here, and I got rid of it because when I edited the ship lines, what is this ship doing here? This might be a problem. I'll get to that later. But the problem was I used to have a cargo ship here, and when I edited the lines, you know that if you put actually let me just show you, because otherwise it will be clear if I show you what I did. So if you try to place one here, you see the connection is too sharp to connect to the ship line that's somewhere around here. So if I go into this menu, you see the ship line goes into here. If I try to put this thing over here, can I go into... Yeah, there we go. It's way too sharp a connection, which means that ships won't make that turn. But since we had this thing put before we edited the ship line, all of the ships that were scheduled to, bring goods and materials and everything to this stop were basically stuck on the edge of the map. So when I got rid of it, basically all these ships, like probably, I don't know, like 40, 50 ships started going and basically not finding the stop, just flow into the a neighboring connection. The thing is, a lot of factories were complaining about lack of raw materials. So by removing that, I basically forced them to, make new orders. And now all the orders are being routed through the right ports and train stations. So that pretty much took care of that, and it's finally fixed because it was just driving me nuts. And shops were becoming abandoned because they didn't have any raw materials or anything. So I couldn't be happier that I figured that out. And instead of having the harbor thing here, I put the Maersk humongous ship liner over here. So, looks pretty great. I still need to figure out how to fix this. I mean, I don't think I can fix this. This is a mod thing, most likely, or an asset thing where it just requires garbage. Basically, the garbage trucks are not able to reach this ship over here. The same with this one. I honestly, learned to ignore these alerts, so I'm not too worried about it. But it would be nice if that sign wasn't there. I also have an issue here with this train stop. It literally has the same problem. I don't know why, because this one is indeed connected to the road, and from time to time I also get the like high crime rate alert here, which is ridiculous. But I did remove this station and put it again, but it didn't fix the issue. So I'm not entirely sure how to fix it. For now, it's just there. Buses work. People don't seem to mind all that much. So I'm gonna keep it. Basically, I'm gonna keep it. So what am I gonna do? Oh, a couple quick things I did, just so you know. I created the bridges here, the bridges over this main river. It's good. I'm hoping that in the next 2-3 episodes I'm going to start expanding towards the other side of the river, so that we can start having a more of a dense or denser city, and start having traffic use more of these highways and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to that. But one of the things that I wanted to do in this episode was to get some of these bridges connected. You'll notice here that I removed this one, and I'll show you in a minute why. I also put down this empty bridge here because I'm gonna use this prop to connect the freeways to the airport, which, by the way, I already downloaded all of the assets for the airport, including the runways, the taxiways, and on all the different lights and signals and some plane props. I still need to download a few more. But I'm building up my library of elements to convert this whole thing into a humongous airport. Or not humongous, but like a decent sized airport. And let's see what else. Oh, yeah, so I was talking about bridges. I created these 2 bridges. This one looks okay. It's fine. I'm not disgusted with the design. However, the problem is that ships are clipping through the bridge because the height is not too great. This episode might be on the shorter end of things, or not include a time lapse, because I'm really running out of time to get this one out. But I didn't want to postpone it. I really want to stay on schedule as much as I could. Anyways, focusing on building things now. So you would notice here that we have 2 different slopes here. We have the first one that is definitely sharper, and then we have this one that's semi not so steep, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I really like this design. It's not perfect, but it's something that you see in real life. It's definitely believable, and it adds a little bit more character than just this plain flat bridge, which looks okay. Don't get me wrong. If you do this, it's totally fine with me. But the fact that ships are clipping through this bridge drives me kind of nuts. So what I did is, well, first of all, let me just show you what I'm now gonna bulldoze because it works. But basically, let me hide this thing. There we go. So this thing goes 16 units long by 18 meters high. So what I'm going to do next is, let me just show you real quick, and this will also refresh my memory. I think I went from 18 meters to 30 meters at a 20 unit length. So I'm going to do the exact same thing over here. I'm going to go 20 units. And I'm going to go 30 meters high. Perfect. And I'm going to clear this segment and do the exact same thing. 20 units and 30 meters, and then connect it like that. And voila, we have the exact same bridge that we have on the other side. And it definitely adds a lot of character to this part of town. Now, this bridge right here, I don't know if honestly, I'm not sure if this was always like this, because I don't think I've ever built a bridge with these 8-lane roads, which is the one that I converted to here. But I noticed that this road creates a bridge that looks quite like the one I plopped near the future airport side, which looks fantastic. However, we have the exact same problem that we have here. If we keep it at this height level, it's way too low. So let's see what we can do about it, because I really want to keep that design, but I don't think that will work exactly the same. So hang on, let's see if we can do a better job than that. Let's go, no sunning. Actually, it's always good to pause the game because the water levels will make the thing rise or go down, which is ridiculous. You would imagine that the game would consider the underground land, but I guess it makes sense because you still want to clear the water. And yeah, don't worry about it. I'm just like going on a stupid tangent right now. But let's see if we can go to 30 meters right about there. 25 units. That looks not great. It's way too steep of a bridge, I think. Which is not quite not what I wanted. We want to be 30 meters by this length. What if we try that? Oh, that's actually not bad. It's actually not bad because the ship line is somewhere around here. So let's measure this again. How much did we do? 21 units from the shore. Okay, so which means that this would be about that much. We're kind of eyeballing it here, so don't mention it. Let's see, can we do 27? Would that look okay? I wish that it was more graceful, if you will. Let's see how this two connect. I just want to see how this connects in the middle. Oh, that's actually not too bad. This is a problem. But why is this taller than this, even if it's 30 meters? That's probably what's messing it up. I guess we'll have to go 24 meters. And we said 21 units. That's not too bad, actually. Let's see if we can improve this a little bit better. Someone doesn't like it, but I don't care. That's actually not bad. Now, this seems taller than this. God damn it. Okay. Which is fine. It doesn't have to be all the same height, but I mean, that looks quite alright. Let's go full speed so for the water to accommodate. This actually could work. I'm not opposed to this. It's a kind of an interesting bridge. How does this look at night, by the way? I've never looked at things at night, but I should probably start doing that because I know a lot of you really, really like it. I personally don't, but just wanted to show you. That actually looks quite fantastic, and I think the height here is definitely enough for this. Now, the question is, can I extend this a little bit further out so that the slope is not so steep, even though I don't think it is crazy steep, but I think we can do a better job than that. Let me get rid of that real quick. What if I go like this? Turn off anarchy and turn on no zoning or collision. Oh, that's quite interesting. Let me go back to 2 p.m., which is my favorite time of the day in game, not in real life. I don't have a favorite time of the day, to be honest, but whatever. That actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna keep this. I think this is working quite alright. It is a bit of a unique design. So my goal with this is that we're gonna need to have some ramps here. I want this. It's kind of a semi-freeway into the city. Of course, if you want to go here and you're coming from the main freeway, you'll just go underground into the canal, right? But this will be for local traffic, if you will. So I think this looks great. In fact, let's see if we can. Yeah, we can totally just go straight and keep that no zoning, no collision. Let's try to keep that centered as much as we can. That looks freaking ill. What about the height here? It seems like the height might not be great. Actually, the clearance is good. Yeah, the lights are clipping, but I'm okay with that. I'm not opposed to that. You know what? This is gorgeous. So I'm gonna extend this over here now, and this could very much just serve as a connection point to the freeway. but we'll work on that later. But dude, this is beautiful. I love it. And I also got a few casinos and things that we can start putting over here. I think this will be a bit of a leisure kind of neighborhood with hotels, casinos, and whatnot. So stay tuned for that. Now, for the core of this episode, and I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm sure you're already reading the title of the episode. I want to start fixing this corner. And one of the main things that I want to put here, and this was a suggestion from you, the viewers, is the stadium. So I've scrolled through a ton of stadiums, and I picked this one. I went through the Allianz Arena, and I even have like a bunch more around here, but this is the biggest one I found that I think looks great. So I want to put it right here in the corner. And for that, I think we're going to need to have some streets laid down first. And this is another big and one more thing. I'm gonna start using some trams. I know you've been asking for it for a long time. Hey, you need to add some trams here. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that now. Well, not right now, but very, very soon. I might start the groundworks for that in this episode and continue over the next couple of episodes. But definitely I want to start adding a few tram lines that would go from downtown to the arena maybe, and to the neighboring neighborhoods. I'm not sure if I want to do a whole network, because that's why I had the trains for. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do it, but I am indeed going to do it. And another thing to notice is that our deficit has gone down significantly. And as soon as we start putting down more buildings and start zoning this whole area, I'm sure we're going to start breaking even and maybe even making a profit. Because right now, like, one of our major costs is a nuclear power plant, which costs $8,000, which, by the way, we need to fix and make a cool little nuclear center kind of thing, but we'll get to that later. Focus, man, focus. All right, so how are we going to do this? I think I'm going to start by putting down a road that's somewhat perpendicular to this, which means that I should probably maybe get a better angle instead of using this as an angle, because I don't think it's exactly... Let's see, how does that look? I basically want this avenue to kind of wrap the stadium. I think it's off by one tiny little tile, so let's go like that. Yeah, I think that's better. Cool. All right, so we're gonna fill pretty much this whole area with the parking lots. We also need to figure out how to integrate all these roads that are coming in. One of the things that I wanted to do is grab the 6-lane avenue. I think it's the one with the trees. There we go. Like that. Well, this is kind of an interesting shape. I know it's kind of a nightmare, like a traffic nightmare, but I don't expect like massive volume of traffic to go through here. So don't freak out about this. I'm gonna keep it because I think this looks cool, and this kind of happens in real life from time to time. So yeah, don't go nuts. Thank you. Now, can I extend this 4-lane road all the way over here? I can. However, it's kind of going through the stadium thing, which is not terrible. Let's see if I move this one more tile. It's no longer clipping, and it still looks kind of wrapped by this thing. So I think I'm going to keep that. Now the question is, how do I integrate this? It doesn't have to be like all perfect and symmetric. That's not what I'm aiming for, just so you know. Even though I love that effect, but that's not what I'm aiming for right now. So if I go here, we have that going, perfect. Now, what do we do with this humongous avenue? Let's actually do this. That makes a little bit more sense. That way, it's the thing. It's off by a few units, and that way we can do the curve properly, and hopefully that will wrap this seawall thing that we have going over here. So if we go do that, there's a bit of a gap, but I'm okay with that because that looks freaking ill, if I do say so myself. Now, actually, this road right here, what if I get rid of it, will you complain about not having road access? No, which is good. That's a good thing. Because I want all the inner streets, all these tiny little streets, I want them to be 2-lane alleys. So let me bring this back to the ground. Oh, we have the tunnel here, so I need to be careful not to mess that one up. But that should do it. Perfect. Fantastic. Now, let's grab this thing. And, well, first of all, actually, biggest thing of all will be to fix the orientation of this. That way now it now works the way it's supposed to. And we're going to have some of these tiny little streets come about from here, I think. Hang on, can I get a road from here so that it's parallel, maybe? If I do something like this, will this work? Come on. It's not gonna get rid of the no road connection thing? Damn it. Okay, I need to rework this. 1 second. So far, so good. I'm kind of liking how this is starting out. I added some parking lots here and there just to give you an idea of what I'm aiming for. I think we can add a few more. Let's see. We have. We're gonna need to change the zoning here on this road segment, and maybe turn it for this. No, it's not gonna let me add a block over there. Interesting. Okay, never mind. Let's see. What else? Where else can we do this thing? There we go. Okay, now we have some more tiles to work with over here. So we could potentially go for a... What is the difference between these two? I don't think there is an actual difference. But if we go maybe with a 2x2, that overlaps with the road, so no. So we can just keep it like that. Just filling every single gap that we have at our disposal with that. I think we can probably do the same over yonder. There we go. Fantastic. Now let's grab some of the bushes, not the bushes, the brushes for concrete. So scroll all the way to the end. There we go. And that way we can fill in the gaps. You also don't want to overdo this by like putting a ton, because these count as, I feel like I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think they add more polygons to the equation, so you don't want to like go crazy with this. You want to do it one at a time. It's also not too difficult, so you know, we have the time. In fact, I'm not going to focus on adding details just now. What I'm going to do next is put down the tram depot that we're finally going to have. And I think a good spot for that will be here, and it will be kind of a good transition between the industrial area that we have here and the commercial area that we're going to have over on this side. So if we go put it there. So we have the tram line going in here. Actually, you know what? Would it be better if it just matches the road connection like that? Yeah, that's actually much, much better. Also, we have this train track here that I don't know exactly what to do, because I don't know if I'm going to bring local trains towards this side or even towards the airport. I feel like, I don't know, actually. Because we could do subways for that. And I know you've been also asking about subways for a long time, but I think we have a super tiny city for subways just yet. Eventually we will, but for now I think it's a bit too much. So if we do indeed do rail, we will have to go underwater. I don't think a bridge over here, over this bay, will look good. Or we could just keep it like this, where it's a future connection under construction, which, you know what, that might be very well the case. Unless also we put down a train station by the stadium. That way people can travel from this corner of the map to the stadium by train. I don't know. That seems like a bit overkill, to be honest. So I'm gonna stick to trams and basically, what was I going to say? Trams and metros eventually for this part. Okay, so this will all be converted to overpasses. So, sorry, to overpasses, I say right. So we're going to need to, I hate updating this road so much. Let's see, can I do it right over there? I can, all right. Because I want to keep this. Ooh, that's kind of funky. Is there any way I can properly do this without destroying everything? What if I do this? How does that look? Honestly, not great. Let me think for a moment here. Okay, so I played for a little bit, actually, for probably over an hour, trying to come up with the best design. And I finally settled with something that I think really, really works. So I completed some of the parking lots, and then I basically relocated the tram station here, or the tram depot, connected it to a ring that kind of goes around the stadium. This will be sort of a loop. Unfortunately, here I have the two-way tram track. But since I'm only hoping to use one way, unfortunately there's no one-way avenue with the trams, so I had to keep it like this. It's not a big deal. Also, my camera's jumping all over the place, but I think that looks good. So basically, the track comes around like this. Actually, this is the orientation. You can see the little arrows. There we go. So it comes this way and goes out this way. And I had to do a little bit of a refactor here because these avenues were not quite parallel. They were off by like half a unit in an angle, and it looked weird. In fact, this one's still kind of messed up, but since I already decorated everything in here, I'm definitely not going to change that. But I did fix everything from here on. So this whole place looks much better, if I do say so myself. And now over here, we have some clipping trees that I'm going to fix right away. And one thing to notice is, let's see, I did put down this Gibson factory here. What we're gonna do here is get rid of the trees. So we're gonna go with a segment of grass. Perfect. And now we can get rid of this and that. Fantastic. That way the trees don't clip through the bridge. I also extended this bridge all the way over here so that the intersection will be clear. And I did like this this concept of having this, what I think is the Museum of Modern Art, the most modern museum, kind of like overlapping the freeway. And of course not clipping it. So I think this looks pretty good. The Gibson factory here, and I'm gonna put down some more sky rises, like skyscrapers around here. We have some gaps to fill in. I think we also probably could use another street kind of coming through here. I don't know. We have to figure that out. But basically the tram tracks go around like this. And I left some spaces here for parking lots. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. We're going to keep... So we have a 3 space on this side. And let's see. I want to try to tile it so that it... Yeah, that's actually not too bad. Hang on, let me remove this too. Not like that. There we go. So now we have some gaps here to put down some streets. Actually, in this case, I think I'm just gonna go straight and put this here and here as well. And let's grab the 2-way street, but the narrow one. I love this tiny little streets. There we go. That's actually not too bad. And we can do the same thing over here. So probably not all the way in, but right about there should be enough. And what we need to do next is get rid of these things. That way we can put down the parking lots. In this case, we're going to do 4 units. Oh, now they're off. Okay, let's try this. So that worked. You know what? Instead of putting parking lots, let's put down a park. So otherwise it's, a little bit too repetitive and boring. Let's see. Can I do want to squeeze in a few more over here. So if we do something like this, we can get 2 more streets, but that will generate, you know what? No, that will generate unnecessary intersections here, which will be a bit too much, but I can just do that and boom, boom. Holy crap, that looks great. All right, so bear in mind that this is all very early stage. We're going to add a ton of trees in between all these parking lots, and I'm going to do the same over here. But that will take some time, so I'm probably going to save that for the next episode. The other thing that we need to do in the next episode is extend probably this tram line and go around here, maybe reconvert this road to support trams and kind of loop around the downtown area, maybe even bring it to this train station. I think I'm gonna try to keep this a small loop through this area. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily extend it. It's more of a touristy thing, even though it's kind of expensive for a touristy thing. But we'll figure it out. I think I don't really want to reconvert all the roads to trams because I don't think they look great. But I do want to use it, because you've been asking it for quite some time, and I think it, that will match this design. I also put down this big sign. I'm sure you noticed it already, but let me add a few more things here, and then we can wrap this episode up. So I was thinking of having something like this. We might have to go a little bit further in. How does that look? That doesn't look so bad. I think we can do a better job than that. It's really difficult getting that angle there. I kind of want this path to be inside of the building as much as I can. Exactly that. So let's see if we can replicate the same thing over here too. Perfect. Something like that. So in the rest of the gaps, let me find the brush. I wanted to add some kiosks too, so I'm going to put down a few of these probably between this episode and the next one. I'll probably do it off camera because this takes a long time and mostly trial and error, so I don't want to bore you with the details, but I will definitely show you once this is all completed. Let me go back to the brushes. Actually, no, it's just brush, like so. And let's do a 2x2 concrete. Before I ended up changing the subject, but I was saying is don't overdo these things, because I think they count as polygons, even though they're flat textures. Don't add unnecessary things that you don't need, especially when you're creating forests too. Don't add a ton of trees, smushed to each other. I tend to do that sometimes, but it's good to avoid that. If it looks lush enough, you can let go of the tree placing clicking. All right, that looks pretty epic. So we need to add a ton of decoration here, probably some trees around here, some planters, and some smaller bushes, and decorate the whole parking. But man, the city is looking really, really great. Couldn't be happier with the results. But unfortunately, that's all the time that I have for now. So if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to click the like button and also consider subscribing if you haven't already. That's all I want to say for now. I want to thank you for watching and really, really hope to see you in the next one.